Well, 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 folks. Looks like the slow starts here in Anaheim are no longer a thing. The Los Angeles Angels have come out of the gates absolutely roaring to start this 2032 season. As you can see, 36 and 17. My goodness. Let's get into it here, folks. Take a look at the schedule here. Or I guess we'll team stats. We'll go team stats. You can see starting off April 18 and 6, then we went 18 and 11 in May, just on an absolute tear. Look at all these ones. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 11. We're not stealing as much as we are this year, but there is partially a reason for that, which I will get into a little bit here. And then 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 3 1 1 2. It's just, I mean, what can you say? We're fucking insane. It's as simple as that. Not to pat myself on the back here, but I might know what I'm doing a little bit. You know, starting to doubt myself there a few years, being like, man, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. I've played this game enough to know what I'm doing here, and in this season, it feels good, baby. It feels good to get off to this 36 win start, 17 losses, sitting in first place in the Pacific Division, 3 games in front of the Dodgers, 4 games in front of the defending champion Oakland Athletics, which feels weird to say. If we take a look at our expanded standings, we are plus 135 already on the season. That is, I'm assuming, the best in the big leagues? Yeah, absolutely. The second best would be plus 85 from the Cincinnati Reds. Wow, the Reds tearing things up. They still got Ellie. They got Marte still. They got Pete Armstrong in center field for them. Not quite the elite guy he used to be, but still good enough, I'm assuming. And really not even still good enough. Probably find a different guy to play center field for you. But look at the staff. They got a guy with a sub-2 ERA. And this guy 10 starts. He's a 45 overall. He's got a sub-2 ERA. Crazy. Crazy starts of the year for this guy. But we're here to talk about the Angels, not the goddamn Cincinnati Reds here. So let's just hop in to see. First of all, I should mention what I say with the stolen bases, the team stats here. Why we have 11 stolen bases. Weirdly, the last few years, our stolen base king on our team has been Juan Soto, and he has actually missed a little bit of time here. He's currently on the IL with a sprained knee. It was only a day-to-day thing, but it was day-to-day for 3 weeks. And even in the email that came up was him saying to the media, I'm not going to risk it. And I was like, yeah, I probably don't want to risk it. And him, destroying his knee at age 33. So we were safe with it. But you can see here, he was absolutely insane in the 196 plate appearances he got before he went on the IL here. 192 WRC plus, 2.5 WAR through 41 games, 11 doubles, 10 home runs, 41 runs, 25 ribbies, walking 26% of the time. Strike, he had 14.8, a triple-digit OPS, 9 stolen bases at a 90% success rate. I mean, he's what can you say about him? Also, his speed, it went up. He got faster at age 33. Not really sure what that's about, but Juan Soto, he's an alien. What can we say? Let's take a look at our lineups we'll start things off with. And let's sort by, WAR maybe? WRC plus? We'll sort by WAR. Here we go. Alvaro Dowd, folks. I believed in this guy. I believed in him as a shortstop, and I believed in his defense, which has come through. He has an 8 ZR through 2 months in the season here. But, I mean, even the bat has been not bad. He's got 14 doubles. He's got 6 home runs. And it's not even like you can look at this and be like, oh, he's running a 400 BABIP, because he's not. His BABIP's lower than what it's been in the minor leagues. Is this just what Alvaro Dowd is? I mean, I don't think so, but I mean, we'll take it. We will absolutely take it. Obviously we don't love the 1.6 walk rate here, which is quite bad. But, he doesn't strike out. He makes contact. And right now he's getting lucky with base hits and playing some insane defense. So Alvaro Dad will take it with the basically 2 WAR already here in the season. Juan Padilla, once again, also 1.9 WAR, 164 WRC plus, 14 doubles, 12 home runs here through 2 months in the season. I mean, what can I say? We signed him to the long-term deal, hoping that he was going to majorly outplay this production. And so far, he's off to a great start here. He's gotten his overall up to a 70. He just looks like an absolute stud for us. What else can you say about Juan Padilla? Logan O'Hoppe, back to being superstar level. Logan O'Hoppe, 149 WRC plus, 12 home runs here, 6 doubles. He's doing the damn thing. Zach Neto missed a little bit of time. What are we doing? Injury history here. He missed about, 2 to 3 weeks with a substantial day-to-day injury. So we were like, okay, just kind of, don't play for a bit. We'll play Starlin Cave at second base while you are out. And, he's been very good. 152 WRC plus, 1.6 WAR, 5 home runs, 13 doubles. He's running a super hot BABIP though, but still, Zach Neto will take it. But he did miss a little bit of time, but he's back now, so no need to worry about that. And then Elliot LaFontaine, folks, the man we picked up in the offseason for, Patrick Forbes, has come over, and he is actually playing every day for us. Trash Masterson here, because of the Juan Soto injury. So he's playing first base because he's actually a better first baseman than Nolan Schanuel is. If we take a look, Schanuel's got the 55. You can see Schanuel had a negative ZR at first, while LaFontaine has a negative ZR at first, but less games. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. We don't care about ZR at first base necessarily. But LaFontaine doing his thing, has a bit of a interesting profile with the gap power is not great, but he has a decent enough BABIP with some good power eye to go with it. And he is absolutely tearing the cover off the ball here. Only 97 plate appearances because he just recently sort of took over the starting position while Soto is currently hurt. But 191 WRC plus, 6 doubles, 6 home runs. He is running an insanely high BABIP. But, we'll take it while we can get it. And then, folks, we aren't done going through guys that have incredible seasons so far. Jeff Van Wingarden with a 139 WRC plus, the right fielder we picked up from the Giants in that big trade where we sent Nick Abel to them. And he's been fantastic. 1 WAR, 139 WRC plus, 11 doubles, 9 home runs. He's doing his job. He's got a positive ZR in right field. Jeff Van Wingarden, been a very solid player for us here. And then Nolan Schanuel. Nolan Schanuel. That's what it is. Nolan Schanuel. I looked it up. I saw a clip. I had a discussion in Spores chat about it. It's Schanuel. It's Sean Owell. Nolan Schanuel. That's what it is, folks. I've been mispronouncing it the whole goddamn time. I even knew I was, but I was just too lazy to look it up. And it's tricky. It's a tricky name. But, it's Nolan Schanuel. And, he's not doing insane stuff quite so far, but he's 115 WRC plus, 12 doubles, 7 home runs. We are not going to complain about that from Nolan Schanuel. One thing I will say is that after a season like this, it is still more fun to bring him back, but he is an expiring contract. And now with the emergence of somebody like LaFontaine, who I'm not saying is Schanuel's level, but, first base, there is a reason why teams don't like committing big contracts to first basemen, why teams prefer building around center fielders and shortstops, because, it's generally viewed that it's easier to replace a first baseman than it is of those positions. So, if he puts up like a pedestrian-ish season for us this year, Schanuel that is, who knows what could happen heading into the offseason. And then we also have Chris Lesnar, the rookie left fielder, the 65 potential man. He's got 12 home runs, 8 doubles, a 110 WRC plus here so far through 2 months in the season. He has struggled a bit as of recently, I believe. Yeah. I believe it's like the last 2 months of May. He was on the cold list. Because I noticed he's not there anymore, but he was on the who's not list here for like 2 weeks towards the end of May. But right now he's not, so he's probably coming out of it. But he's still positive WRC. He's still above league average hitter. He's got 12 home runs. We will not complain about that from a guy who's playing in his first full run here in the big leagues. We would like to see the strikeout rate drop a bit. That is definitely something that is worrying, but hopefully he can improve that a little bit, because he did improve his avoid K in the dev lab this offseason, didn't he? Yes, his two strike approach. So, hopefully things aren't too bad. But right now, he is looking pretty solid. So we will continue to take what he's giving us. And then Dave Peters has been a fine backup. Chase Brunson got off to a hot start, but he's kind of cooled off. He's got an 86 WRC plus, but he is playing some solid center field defense for us, so no reason to make a change off of that position at the moment. Gavin Turley's been fine as a backup. I mean, really solid as a backup even. Starlin Cabo's been fine. Josh Johnson's up now in what Elliot LaFontaine's role was to start the year, where he was backup first baseman DH. That's what Johnson's doing for us at the moment. And then Anthony Gutierrez has gotten off to a not great start here this season, which is disappointing. Definitely disappointing to see. But we're going to keep rolling with him. He's a captain. He's a bench player. We're going to keep rolling with him, see what he does. And now taking a look at our pitching here, sorting by innings pitched. Justin Lampkin has actually stabilized a bit. He actually got off to a really slow start where he had like a 6 ERA. If we go by games, you can see here it's been consistently going down. This at one point was like a 6. Like I said, it was not good. It was not going well to start his season. You can see April, 5 starts in April did not go well at all. And then here in May, he's just been tearing the world on fire here. Who's ever said that before? But you know what I mean. Justin Lampkin here has been incredible here in May, starting to look like the guy that we traded for, which is good to see. Yuri Perez also been looking very solid here. Basically has a 2 WAR here through 2 months in the season. Very, very good. Running a 30 strikeout rate, a 25.2 K- walk. Incredible stuff. Zach Gallen, unfortunately, is looking like he might be cooked, folks. He's got 10 starts, negative WAR, below league average ERA, and FIP minus, and 2.3 home run per 9. That's not gonna cut it. It's not looking good, folks. And the thing is, he has next year too. So it's brutal. It is brutal. We might have to cut bait at him at some point, which is not ideal, because we are going to have to move our money in the offseason to see if we want to bring back Sean Newell and some other moves and whatnot. But so it's not ideal to have to eat the rest of this contract. But he's teetering on that point now where we might have to do it, because the ratings do not look good. He's extreme fly ball now. He just cannot be trotting out there doing this every time out. It's just unacceptable. We cannot allow that to happen. So we might have to make a decision on him here soon. But then the rest of the staff here, Andrew Healy, incredible here. He's been fantastic in the rotation with a 1.5 WAR, 174 ERA plus, striking out a bunch of guys, not walking too many guys, basically doing the same thing he was doing in the bullpen, even dropped his home run rate, but now he's doing it in the rotation. We'd love to see it. Amari Collar also having a bit of a breakout season. A 2 WAR for him. I mean, he was good last year. I shouldn't say breakout, because he was good last year. But he is stepped it up even more this year with a 55 FIP minus. Love to see that. He has dropped his home run rate to 0.5, the opposite of Zach Gallen. We'd love to see it. Eric Rose has been solid in a stopper role. So is Chase Petty. William Schmidt, folks, in a middle relief role, has been damn good. 27 2/3 innings pitched with a 2.69 ERA plus and an 83 FIP minus. And striking at 28.4% of batters, not giving up a ton of home runs. He's doing the damn thing in the bullpen. He's turned into a productive reliever here. Chris Lavonis has been fine. Mike Lilly's been good. Tora Kaneda has been really good in the innings that he pitches, but he has 25 stamina, and we run the stoppers, obviously. So the AI will just choose the stoppers most of the time. You can see here Kaneda has only pitched 13 1/3 innings, but when he does pitch, he has been absolutely phenomenal. And it's just, I don't know what else to do with the guy, because what are we going to do? Throw him in a stopper role? I guess we could try, but that's probably not going to go well. Should I throw this on setup? I don't even know. But, I mean, he's doing what he's doing right now. But, I mean, basically what we're trying to do is hope that we can move his stamina up in the dev lab. But even then, what is it going to go to? 30 if I improve it in the dev lab? I mean, that's still not good. Maybe good enough to be a stopper, but I mean, it's not great, folks. It's not great what has happened to him post rotator cuff here. Uh, we'll just have to keep experimenting, but I mean, at least when you get in there, you're dominating. So at least you have that going for you. And then Hagen Smith has just recently come up, pitched 3 2/3 as like a lefty middle relief guy, and has been absolutely lights out in those appearances. That was because what's his name, or on the AAA team. Nope. Serwinowski here was not good in 9 1/3. We just had to make a change. Was giving up too many home runs, and now he's down in AAA. He's pitched 1 game down there. Disappointing to see, but I'm sure he'll be back at some point. And you may be asking yourself, who are we even looking at to replace Gallen if we go that route with eating his contract currently in the system? Well, first of all, there is Dan Brannick, who got off to a really good start. He has like a mild injury, but he'll be back soon. Obviously, not the most ideal guy to throw in the fifth starter role, but we could if we wanted to, or we could just go the reliever route and like move maybe Mike. Probably not Lilly because he has the 45 changeup. Petty also 45 changeup. Honestly, I'd probably move Rose. Honestly, either that or even Schmidt possibly. Either Rose or Schmidt would go into the fifth starter role if we don't go a route of calling somebody up. Probably the most ideal thing for me would be able to call up Mike Hoskins, the Mr. Clueless Dum-Dum here, who unfortunately is currently out with 5 to 6 weeks, forced 5 to 6 weeks with elbow tendonitis, which is not great. But he was pitching very well in Double-A to start the season. Hopefully he can come back from that because Mike Hoskins, we do expect him to be a key part of our team here fairly soon. As you can see, he is developing quite a bit. He's still got the 60 potential. He's pitching well. We see a little bit more from him. He's probably going to be up, especially with the situation now where we need another starter. Oh, and then there's also Mike Bray, who unfortunately ruptured a disc in his back. He's out for 7 months, so he's not an option for us. He's kind of not panned out because of injuries. Unfortunate to see there. And then if you remember me really liking Juan Carlos Lara, that is still true. I would give him a shot in the rotation if I felt like he could. He's currently out for 6 weeks with a strain of the abdominal muscle, and during the offseason, he was downgraded to wrecked. So that's why he's no longer on the 40-man. I just felt like he was good enough to keep around in AAA just to have a guy, and maybe we get lucky and he's healthy or something. But as you can see here, not healthy. He definitely won't be back in our organization at next season. But another interesting development here in the minor leagues, Chris Aquino, our first-round pick, 9th overall in 2029, currently the 18th prospect in baseball, the switch-hitting power hitter from Carbondale, Illinois. Was playing some right field for us in high A just to get familiar with that position. And then I was going to play him in left field to get familiar with that as well, but he's just absolutely tearing the cover off the ball in double. I mean, I shouldn't say he's tearing the cover off the ball, but he's doing his job. He's hitting home runs. He's hitting well. 982 OPS. 14 home runs. I mean, he's hitting bombs. He's doing what he does. He's a power hitter. Big red here. And he's playing third base for us as we promoted him to Rocket City here in Double-A, as you can see. And he expects to be playing in the Major League. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe it happens this season. He's already got 70 power. He's got 80 potential. He's got a good personality class to have in the locker room. So, Aquino here could very well be in the big leagues here at some point this season if we need a bat. Which, I mean, is just funny saying out loud because right now, we do not need a bat. And we are going to hop into this first-year player draft here in 2032. You can see we have the 32nd overall pick because we were so good last season, so we're not going to be getting a top-tier prospect here, but that is to be expected. 1 through 5 here is D-backs, Oaks, Expos, Nationals, and the Rays, who dropped from 1 to 5. The D-backs jumped from 2 to 1. Raleigh, good for them, jumped from 6 to 2 because they at one point, I believe, dropped from like 1 to 8 or something like that in one of these drafts. Got really unlucky. But let's just hop into it here. Let's just start the draft. Sort by positions here, or sort by all players. Put this on hitters for now. And let's just see who goes #1 overall to Arizona. Derek the Enforcer Atkins, a college bat out of St. Cloud State University. Big power hitter looking type who can play some really good defense too. Yeah, I'd say this guy looks like he'd be a first round pick, or a first overall pick for sure. Let's move things on to our pick here, and it drops off quite a bit. Let's see who the best college player available is. A couple 55s here, a reliever who we will not be taking because he's a reliever. A starter who, I mean, he's fine-ish. And then a closer who, we will not be taking because he's a closer. Probably gonna go the high school route this first round just because it doesn't seem like any of these college guys. I mean, as I'm saying that, this guy pops up. This guy from Northwestern. I mean, I've talked about it a ton. I know you guys know how much I love the gap power combo with the speed. 70 gap power potential with 70 speed. He's already got 40 of it developed. He's got 40 of it as contact developed too, with a really good contact profile. Looks like he can walk a bit. Now, he is never going to hit for power, but this guy is absolutely the type of player who can perform very well in OTP with the gap power and the contact. He's a second baseman for you, but I like this guy's profile a lot, to be quite honest. Honestly, there's some dudes who I even like better than Puente. So like this Dave Gaddy guy who probably has even less of a positional home than Puente, because I mean, even in like a corner, he's going to be a pretty liability for you, but he's got 80 grade speed to go with possible 75 power, and then a very similar contact profile to Puente here. He's the high leader. I mean, this guy... I mean, honestly, I'd be tempted to take Gaddy and Puente, like Puente and then Gaddy, or if I take somebody else and then come, what I might do is, I think I'm pretty set on either one of those. Who's this guy? I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. He does have the bad work ethic, but probably not my top choice. All around, like this guy's definitely going to be like a corner outfielder, but he's like an all around type. Going to have like a Zach Neto hitting profile, let's say, where he's just going to have a bunch of green, nothing too outstanding. He does have the 60 eye potential. Yeah, I think I prefer Puente or Gaddy, but I think what I'm going to do is just go all players here and see who, like, I mean, it's a high school arm. He's committed to Utah, Rio Grande Valley. Oh, man. Out of Michigan. Committed to Utah, Rio Grande Valley. What are they doing recruiting up there? So it's like, yeah, the best dudes here are high school arms. Which we all know, not a fan. Not a fan. Ground ball hitter, no thank you. Fragile already, no thank you. Who's this guy? Ooh. He's definitely a corner, but he's got a very interesting bat profile. He is super far from the big leagues. Who does my scout think we should take? Our scout thinks we should take this guy. Okay. That makes me think that we should take him now and then see if we can get Puente or somebody else. I mean, this guy's... He's got some big... McGuire Air Force Base. Okay. We're gonna go on my scout once. We're gonna take Ken Holland here, this corner outfield type with some good power eye potential, with like a decent rest of his bat profile. Definitely a corner guy, but that's fine with this type of bat. So yeah, we're gonna take him, and then we're gonna move things on, and we are going to hope that. Okay, so Puente got taken, but Gaddy is still here. Which is like, do I want Gaddy in the second round while there's still 50s here? Maybe? Maybe just take the guy that we like? This guy Durable from a MAC school? Our scout thinks we should take, yeah, this ground ball hitter first baseman. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Alright, I found who we're taking here. We are taking this guy, another high school player, but I just like this guy's profile. I mean, I've talked about why I like these profiles. He has so much blue here with the 70 speed, the 65 range. Arturo Kitten Saucedo here from Chicago, committed to University of Michigan. That actually makes sense. That's a very like direct, real life sort of thing that would happen. But Arturo Saucedo here is definitely going to be our guy. 50 grade high school player. So boom, second round pick right there. We move things on round 3. You can see there is this very interesting player here. Steve McCorkle, who's got 70 infield range to go with 70 outfield range as well. Never going to be a bat, so he's not like a second round pick. Oh, that was actually supplemental round, I think. But, well, whatever it was, we have another pick here. Who this guy is interesting because he's got the gap, he's got the gap and the power, 50 BABIP potential, with 70 range. Now, we have been loading up on outfielders. Our system already is filled with way too many outfielders. And I don't usually draft for need, but I have, like, that level of outfielders where it's like, we should probably be looking at other things. Like, who are some, not international free agents, who are some pitchers? Starters, to be specific. Not really any good college starters here. Okay, this guy's name got all glitched out. Oh, 0148 Beverly. That's the future that like the average Twitter Blue user wants you to have. Work ethic high on some of these guys, but like they don't stand out to me as like second round picks. Yeah. There are some decent like ground ball types like this guy, but like I said, not a second rounder. Like I might take this guy like third, fourth, but not now. This guy throws 96, 90. He throws 96, 98, but he's a college arm that went to like just wildly not known college, and he's like not developed. He's like his control's still 20. So he's bust potential majorly. He's more of a high school arm in my mind. So I definitely prefer Huerta here as the best college arm that I'm seeing, but I don't think I want to take him now. And then we all know what I feel about high school arms, but they are the best available. They are indeed the best available. This guy's impossible. Jim Boone. I don't like his profile. He is developed quite a bit for a high schooler, but none of his pitch. He's got like some off-speed stuff that could be good, but like why even work on this stuff? Our scout really wants us to take Joe Box here, which I don't like him. All right, I see that he has 60 power potential. I see that he has this stuff, but he's a ground ball hitter who can play a really bad first base, and that's it. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking him. Out of these 60 potential guys, I don't know. Because, like, I like this guy's personality more than the other ones, but he has the 25 home run suppression, which, I mean, this is like, with how this usually works out, I'd say this is like a 95% chance to just be like a 30 home run suppression. Whereas Boone at least already has his up to 35. Cook here has his at 35 as well. He's impossible. Never mind. He's impossible. We're not going to spend money for him. Raymel here is also has his home run suppression developed a little bit as well, so he's not quite as bad as Jalo here. And yeah, I think I prefer Rommel, honestly, because Boone has a little bit better home run suppression, but I think I prefer Rommel. Plus, he's from Wisconsin. I'm just now seeing that. Let's compare these dudes. Potential. Okay. So I guess Rommel has a little bit better stuff, but he has worse movement and worse control. But he does have better stamina. I don't know. I guess we'll just take Boone. We'll take Boone. We're just going to take him. I'm rolling the dice on a high school pitcher here. Jim Boone is our pick. We move things on. Of course, these guys are still here, making me look like a goddamn dumbass. Some really good names here. Marian Andre Rudder 70 grade shortstop, Kamani Sweetenberg. A 6'6" shortstop with 70 range, and he's durable already? I mean, come on. Is Isidro Wapaya? Wapaya? 70 range, high work ethic guy? You got some interesting dudes here. I mean, I think I like Sweetenberg the best. Yeah. And he's been around. He's been around. He was in high school in all these classes, and he went to college. Yeah, he's been around. At an IMG, did not sign. Went to San Diego State. Great name. Honestly, great name. I'm tempted to take him, honestly. I am. We're going to take him. Kamani Sweetenberg here. We're going college, 6'6" shortstop. Boom. We move things on round 4. The other dude went. Yeah, so the other dude that I liked went. What about... No, not... I keep changing that when I'm meaning to change this. Is Huerta. We're going to take Huerta. We're taking him now. Round 4. I don't even care that he's a 45. We're taking him. We're taking him. We're moving things on to round 5. Not the highest potential draft class here for us, but we're taking dudes that we think can be players. Think they can contribute for us. So our scout thinks we should take this 45 potential Jeremy Hancock guy who, I mean, he's fine-ish, I guess. He's got the high work ethic, intelligence, but nothing really stands out too much for him. I prefer, at this point, Steve Bradford, who's got this big power potential, who also is not going to be like a great position anywhere. Like, he's a DH, and that really limits him in my mind. Yeah, I don't know if Joe Cullen also limited defensively. So really what I'm looking at mainly is... Whoops, I did not mean to... Let's just switch this back. Yeah. No. I did not mean to switch that up like that. Outfield range. Johnny Mills here. 45 potential, but he has the big gap power, a little bit of iron BABIP. The Void K is a problem. I will acknowledge that. But he's got 70 range and high leader, and he's just my favorite guy here available, in my mind. I also like Ken O'Brien. I will say Ken O'Brien's an interesting guy in my mind. So maybe we should go Ken O'Brien because he's got the higher potential. He's got an intelligence. He's not an outfielder. Yeah, so there's Ken O'Brien, and then there's also like some lesser potential guys who I like this McCorkle guy I do like. And if we can get him at some point, we might. Arturo Aguirre here, really good personality class, really good glove. But they're not like, I mean, there are no like high-end picks here. There's a lot of like just dudes that, you know, probably you're really banking on here. There's not a lot available at this point. I mean, this guy, but he's a high school bat. It's like no defensive position. But you got this guy from Neptune, New Jersey with 75 contact potential, which is very good. He's an outfielder. I mean, there's just so many outfielders that have intriguing bats. It's just, I don't know what it is, but there just is. There's outfielders with really intriguing bats, and that's really just what it comes down to. This catcher is like interesting-ish. I like the bat profile. I like the framing and the blocking. I do not like that he has low leader and low work ethic as a catcher. That seems bad to me. We're going to take the catcher, I think. I think we're going to take the catcher, even with the low leader work ethic. I just think this is too good of a potential bat as a catcher to pass up with 60 framing. So yeah, Benavides is going to be our catcher pick here in the 5th round. And then I think we're going to do everything else off camera here, and we're going to just skip to the end, and I'll recap what I've done. All right, so we have gotten through the draft here in 2032. I believe we left off with taking Benavides. So then we immediately took Ken O'Brien, that infielder from Vineland, New Jersey, which is, I believe, technically the birthplace of Mike Trout. He was born in Vineland, but he grew up in Millville. So yeah, that is a little fun fact there for you. Also, Vineland, very prominent for being Isaiah Pacheco, is where that's where he's from. If you didn't know, Ken O'Brien. So then we took Elvis Stevens. Stevens, probably Stevens. I think maybe it's Steffens. Who knows? Elvis here was our 7th-round pick out of Neptune, New Jersey. Although North Plainfield, I think that's also in New Jersey high school. But anyways, high work ethic, decent personality, really good contact, gap power, speed, corner outfield type. Decent guy to pick up in the draft. Then we took an all-bat first guy. Never going to be a great defender, but he has an interesting bat profile. It was real slim pickings. Real slim pickings by the time we got to like round 10. Even here, very slim pickings. We took a shortstop, has an interesting glove, high work ethic. He's whatever. Round 10, we took another interesting glove, high work ethic type from the University of the Pacific. He's durable, plays some good defense in our minor leagues. It's whatever. Then we took this guy who apparently was a possible signee, and I did not realize. And he wants like over $10 million to sign, and obviously I'm not going to give $10 million to this guy. So whatever. And then we took a reliever, Tim Lux, out of UConn. The Hook C, baby, the Hook C. Ground ball pitcher. Maybe he's something, maybe he's not. Who knows? Then we took a high school ground baller, 13th round. Who cares? Like I said, really, really slim pickings. We took another reliever who could possibly be somebody for us. We took another reliever who throws pretty hard with a good fastball, possible curveball that needs a lot of developing, durability as well. And then we took a shortstop. He's more of a second baseman, third baseman with this turn DP being so low, but he has high work ethic, intelligence, plays some good defense in the minors. It's whatever. Another possible reliever type, high schooler, 50 potential though, but he's obviously a high schooler, has a long way to go. And then we took another interesting reliever type, possibly ground ball pitcher, has really good stuff, potential. Then we took, another reliever who throws really hard and has high work ethic. Who knows if these guys are going to be anything? But this was what is available to us. It was very, very slim pickings in this year's draft. So we were just taking basically, guys who could possibly maybe be somebody in the bullpen for us, and some guys who could play some defense for us in the minor leagues for the most part in these later rounds. And that was our draft class.